Irish Illustrated News and Analysis. We are at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, where tonight Notre Dame fans, the Irish will play for the national championship for the first time in 12 seasons. I'm Tim O'Malley, Tim Prister, Irish Illustrated, John Brice of Football Scoop, and as always, we are brought to you by the RV Manufactured Housing Hall of Fame in Elkhart, Indiana. Guys, there are two known entities in this game: Notre Dame's defense and Ohio State's defense. And we think there's the highest flying passing attack this side of the NFL in the Ohio State. Notre Dame, consistent rushing attack. I think there's two other entities that might win this game or just make a deciding factor tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the running. Notre Dame has to establish the run game to get the pass game going. Maybe you just have to get the pass game going, and that it's not going to be easy for Notre Dame going up against the Berg-Igbenogson tandem at corner and Ransom and Downs at safety. Jaden Greathouse has been hot lately. Jordan Faison has been hot. They need to continue that. Maybe you can't wait until you get the ground game going. You have to get the short passing game going. But those are two keys. And as always, Tim, Mitchell Evans, especially at this stage of the season, Notre Dame needs Mitchell Evans to be Mitchell Evans of last year when he was playing a level of All-American football.
All we talked about is man-to-man defense, maybe for Notre Dame, but that's not going to matter at all if Ohio State's running game, perfectly capable of taking over a football game, gets going tonight.
Yeah, Notre Dame has zero chance of containing or bottling up the Ohio State passing game if Notre Dame first can't win some battles at the line of scrimmage with its defense and cannot contain Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, as you visited with people closer to the program over the course of this week, the last 10 days. You get the sense that there's great respect for them. Henderson probably has a little bit more top-end speed than either of the guys that they saw last week from Penn State. But the staff is very much comparing the Ohio State duo to the Penn State duo last week. There's great concern there with Ohio State being able to dictate things on the ground and therefore making it a nightmare potentially for the Notre Dame defense trying to slow down that passing attack.
Tim Priester, you mentioned something to me upstairs where if Howard Cross can show flashes of the old Howard Cross, he was a dominant force in this game last season, and Ohio State doesn't have a lot of weaknesses, but there's one spot they might be able to attack. Could be the interior there where Howard Cross aligns at nose tackle.
Yeah, I thought you were right in line earlier in the week when you mentioned that Howard Cross needed to have a good game, and I think he has a good opportunity to do that. You know, the Ohio State starting center was injured in November during practice, and so they've had to put Carson Hinsman at center. I think he's a guy, when he's in space, he's really good. When he gets out front of Judkins and Henderson, he's really good. In short space, not so much on the interior, and that's where Howard Cross and Gabe Rudolph have to take advantage.
Plenty of zone, plenty of man-to-man coming. We have to discuss what's going to happen, though, when Notre Dame does challenge Ohio State's receivers, because they haven't really faced, and this might not be fair to Notre Dame secondary, no one has faced receivers like Ohio State has. So at some point when you're going man-to-man, you have to make sure the tackle happens. There's going to be receptions. They're not shutting them down like they did Penn State.
Again, 18-yard gains have to be 18-yard passing plays. 18-yard plays cannot end up becoming 48-yard plays. And that's the danger at any given moment with this Ohio State passing attack. And that's the key. We've talked about Will Howard under pressure. Obviously, he doesn't throw with as much accuracy when he's blitzed as when not, but he's still among the most accurate quarterbacks in the country, even under pressure. I think that Kingston Viliama-Pasa could be a key for Notre Dame tonight. They're going to have to generate some pressure, and I think the earlier the better, because when Ohio State has struggled collectively as an offense this season, it's because Will Howard has struggled, particularly early in games. We saw it against Nebraska, we saw it in the Michigan matchup, and frankly, we saw it against Penn State. Remember, it was 10-0 Nittany Lions 9 minutes into that game because Will Howard had thrown a pick six. Will Howard also fumbled through the end zone in that contest. Notre Dame has to affect and impact Will Howard as early as possible.
Let me jump in there, Tim, because Will Howard, you're right, John, and against Michigan, too. He was bad against Michigan. He had struggled against good defenses, and this is a great defense. So I think that's key. Notre Dame, we talk every week, the turnover battle is huge, especially since Notre Dame has forced more than anyone in the country in the FBS.
32 force, which doesn't include block kicks, which we're going to get to in a second.
Yeah,
well.
I mean, so that's huge. And Will Howard has shown a propensity to make a mistake against quality defense. Notre Dame needs it this week.
I think you get any team side together, talk about a national championship game, they go offense, defense, and special teams. We actually could have started the other way and gone with special teams because they are the differentiator this season. Block kicks is not all. That's not all there is. I expect Marty Biaggi, well, I know Marty Biaggi has many things available in his bag tonight. You wonder at what point he thinks we have to pull this out, or this is the perfect time to pull this out.
Yeah, and I think that's where it's key that number one, he has a great rapport with Marcus Freeman, but arguably even more importantly, Marcus Freeman has a great belief and expectation in special teams. So let's remember, as we've noted several times, Marcus Freeman coached the punt coverage team this year because he wanted to coach a unit, because he believes in special teams, because he wanted to be involved in that. I think all those elements are very vital to your point about Biaggi. This is a special teams unit that is prepared to uncork plays that they literally have been repping for 2 years, that they've repped more than 200 times, that have never been seen in a game. Let's hope we get a chance to see those tonight. It'll have to be. They had a bunch ready last week in Penn State. The situation never arose to dictate or to facilitate using some of those opportunities, as they call them. One other thing I would note, as we talked about stolen possessions or stealing possession or gaining possession, there's a sense that a block kick would be great if Notre Dame could block one, and I think there's some belief there that they can, but they've got to turn it into, therefore, a game-changing play. They need a block that then turns into a plus 30-yard game by Leonard Moore or somebody like that.
Tim, when the playoffs started, concern was against Jeter. Where are they going to get their points in the kicking game? As it turns out, he's 7 of 8 in the postseason. The Ohio State kicker, although had a good game in their last outing, he has missed 3 of his last 7. So Notre Dame actually goes into this game with the hottest kicker this year.
Before I get to John Brice and the theme we want to talk about, and Tim Priester with his key, mine is honestly something Logie Gilman talked about when they faced Navy. So consider Ohio State Navy with 5 stars. Every blade of grass has to belong to Notre Dame. Upon contact, the tackle has to go to Notre Dame. But Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price and Nias Williams make contact, and Mitchell Evans, as you said, the extra 3 yards have to go to them as much as humanly possible. I think that is where you can also win the margins offensively and defensively before you get to special teams. But bloody wounds, I'm told bloody wounds are a thing, and I'm all for bloody wounds.
That's an ESPN level segue, T.O., so kudos to you. It is. Bloody wounds has been the theme of this week, really since before Notre Dame got down here to Atlanta. Marcus Freeman, my understanding, has pieced together about 5 to 7 clips from each of Notre Dame's previous 2 meetings with Ohio State to show his team both how close they were to winning those games and the moments that defined them not being able to win those games. He delivered the message. You had those bloody wounds. They're callous now. You went through that to get to this. This is your opportunity.
Tim Priester, keys to the contest for you, aside from, of course, the turnovers are number one, but after that, we agree.
Yeah, I saw Riley Leonard, I guess it was last week. Now, we talked to Riley Leonard. I said, do you have to, it's almost like you have to make a mistake sometimes before you snap out and play your best football. And he agreed with that. He can't wait for that. He has to start out hot. He has to run the football. He has to be accurate throwing the football. Notre Dame beats the best version of Riley Leonard for this offensive series.
That's it.
All right, 2 quick things I would like to add, please, and we see them just here to our left shoulders, the Shake Down the Thunder green towels that are adorned all over the Notre Dame sections.
I had not noticed those. Very nice eyes.
I think about 20,000 towels, and that's been every step of the way from the opening game in South Bend, the yellow towels, because the manufacturer couldn't get the green towels done in time. That's why it's green towels here today. It works out better. You want the green towels for the National Championship game. One other really cool thing, and those were sponsored by some generous people at Notre Dame. One other really cool thing, the students at Notre Dame were guaranteed 500 tickets. Notre Dame said, no, we want our students to have 1,000 tickets. They were supposed to be a face value of $450. Notre Dame received donations to lower the prices to $150 per student to make it as cost effective as possible for those students and to get 1,000 students instead of 500 students here. That's just pure class.
This football season's instant analysis was brought to you by the RV Manufactured Housing Hall of Fame in Elkhart, Indiana. We're in Atlanta. That's it. Pre-game. We'll be back post-game. Notre Dame and Ohio State by 2024 National Championship.